Hello, this is Rick Anderson. I'm going to talk you through the ratio zip file. As you can see, the ratio zip file is one of 8 which are also available, but this particular one is ratio. And ratio consists in GCSE maths of around 6 topics, and within this zip file there are 5 slide packs covering these topics, and each of the slide pack has a common format of context, summary, detail, work solutions and closing questions, and you can control the speed. I've built in animations that you can control. You can edit the packs as well. Now there's more detail on these, as you can see, but we'll illustrate that with just one of the slide packs of the 6, and it'll be simple and compound interest I'm going to show you, and this is an example from it, a spreadsheet which we'll look at a little bit later. So simple and compound interest. I always start with a view of where the whole thing fits in terms of the overall syllabus, and for each of these sections there is another zip file, but this particular one is ratio, and within ratio you can see this is where compound simple interest sits. I like to describe what sort of level of questions you get in GCSE for this particular topic, and this is the sort of 4, 5, 6 sort of area. Often I'll start with a little story or something humorous perhaps, just to kick things off, and in this case a discussion about what interest is. And if we then look at the summary of what we're going to see, definitions, simple and compound interest, the methods you might need to learn for GCSE questions, and then the formula, golden rules you need to know, numerical questions and applied problems. Numeric, simpler, usually just numbers, whereas applied, a lot more words. Sometimes a link to an online quiz, tips as well. So this section is the fulcrum, if you like, the centre of the whole presentation, really the details of what you need to know to solve GCSE maths problems in this area. So definitions, and then the types of problem, types of methods that you need to know, simple interest, compound interest, with examples, and working through year 1, 2, 3, 4, onto depreciation and decay, and also back calculation to get back to the interest rate, for instance. So we then go on to details around the golden rule, particularly around the multiplier method in this topic, and then simple questions, type of questions you get, and then applied questions, for instance mentioning radioactivity can be applied in this context, tips, and then on to questions. And you can see I gradually reveal the methods and gradually reveal the answers to questions, and you can control the speed at which you ask pupils to answer these questions and reveal the answer at the end. And plenty of questions, plenty of methods, as you can see, and you see there's a link to a spreadsheet there which we'll open in a minute to close it off, and then manual calculations as well as the multiplier method. And so more questions where we open it out a little bit more to real world situations like a footballer's depreciation value, or radioactivity, decay, linking a bit to physics there. And then finally I always finish with fast and furious questions, a little bit more involved than not some of the other slide packs, usually a bit shorter than this, but 7 questions just to establish really that the pupils have understood the method. Okay, so if we just finish off by going to that spreadsheet. If I open the spreadsheet, you'll have a link in the pack to this, and you can see we have over 5 years, simple interest, compound interest, calculation, some questions around that, and it's interactive. So I've got a 10% interest rate here, and you'll see I'm showing £244 compound interest. If I were to change that to 20%, you'll see that the number changes. And you can put any sort of numbers that you like in. Okay, thank you very much.